In a landmark decision, the US Supreme Court has ruled former presidents can be immune from criminal prosecution for acts that they took in office. The decision will delay Donald Trump's January 6 case. He's not out of the woods yet, though. Let's go to our Washington correspondent, Annalise Nielsen. So, what did the court decide, Annalise?
Look, this wasn't a unanimous decision. It was 6-3 decision, and it shows just how tense it was, the fact that this was left until the last sitting day of the Supreme Court. But essentially, they've decided that Donald Trump does have immunity from criminal prosecution like every other president for official acts. But critically, what they've done here is push back that definition of official acts to the lower court. So now they'll have to decide on it, leaving that open to a potential appeal up to the Supreme Court again, and essentially delaying this whole process for Donald Trump to face trial over the January 6 case until at least near the election or potentially after it. And so this is what Chief Justice wrote. Chief Justice Roberts, we conclude that under our constitutional structure of separated powers, the nature of presidential power requires that a former president have some immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts during his tenure in office, at least with respect to the president's exercise of his core constitutional powers. This immunity must be absolute. As for his remaining official actions, he is also entitled to immunity. Now, the three dissenting justices each laid out their own reasons, but Ketanji Jackson Brown said, the majority of my colleagues seem to have put their trust in our court's ability to prevent presidents from becoming kings through case-by-case application of the indeterminate standards of their new presidential accountability paradigm. I fear that they are wrong, but for all our sakes, I hope that they are right. Now, Donald Trump, as you can imagine, has been celebrating this as a win, saying big win for our Constitution and democracy, proud to be an American. Today's historic decision by the Supreme Court should end all of crooked Joe Biden's witch hunts against me, including the New York hoaxes, the Manhattan scam cooked up by Soros-backed DA Alvin Bragg, racist New York Attorney General Tish James's shameless attack on the amazing business that I've built, and the fake Bergdorf's case. Proud to be an American. So this is a win in a sense because it's going to affect the timing. It has protected the idea that presidents are immune from criminal prosecution, whereas before it was only set that it was civil cases whilst they're in office. And so this is an expansion of that, but it's certainly not the all-out win that Trump seems to be celebrating.
Quick one here on his opponent, Joe Biden, his family urging him to stay in the race, Annalise.
This is the story that won't go away for the Bidens after their shocking performance, after Joe Biden's shocking performance at the debate. The latest is this front cover story of Vogue magazine with Jill Biden. This was done before the debate, but they've had to respond to it with Vogue saying, reached by phone on June 30 at Camp David, where the Biden family had gathered for the weekend, she told Vogue that they will not let these 90 minutes define the 4 years he's been president. We will continue to fight. President Biden, she said, will always do what's best for the country. Now, this has come off the back of a slew of really damning stories. The Biden family is backing Joe Biden in, saying he should continue to run. This is one story that's come out of Politico. One of the strongest, this is the New York Times. One of the strongest voices imploring Mr. Biden to resist pressure to drop out was his son, Hunter Biden, whom the president has long leaned on for advice. Said one of the people informed about the discussions, who, like others, spoke on the condition of anonymity to share internal deliberations. Hunter Biden wants Americans to see the version of his father that he knows, scrappy and in command of the facts, rather than the stumbling, aging president Americans saw on Thursday night. Now, this is a story from Politico, which is blaming all the advisors of the president, saying Biden allies and staffers have sought to blame a variety of factors in the aftermath of Biden's dismal debate performance, including that the president was ill, was overprepared, and that the CNN moderators failed to fact-check former President Donald Trump. But as the crisis continued into a third day, the finger-pointing has turned inward towards some of Biden's closest advisors. And some of the positive spin they're trying to put out, this came out on Saturday. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Biden is dependably engaged, and many of his public events in front of cameras are held within those hours. Outside of that time range or while travelling abroad, Biden is more likely to have verbal miscues and become fatigue, aides told Axios. So that's not putting a lot of confidence in even Biden supporters saying he's good for about 6 hours a day, because this is critical crunch time for the campaign, which is 6 weeks out from the Democrat national.
Thank you, Annalise.